Hi, welcome to the Beach Bucket Podcast. And today we are talking with Cera, mom, gourmet chef, Jersey girl, and entrepreneur for Rodan and Fields, skin and hair consulting. Talk to us. Summer is approaching. We've got wind, sun, sand, and salt water. What can you do to help us?
Oh, yes. Well, first of all, thank you, Gretchen, for inviting me. I'm so excited to be a guest on your podcast. I love everything beach related, so it's appropriate. Rodan and Fields, for those of you that are maybe listening and not aware of what this brand is all about, Rodan and Fields was started by two dermatologists, Stanford trained, Dr. Katie Rodan and Kathy Fields. And they started with just skincare. So they were actually also the two dermatologists that created Proactive decades ago. They made that a household name, helping everybody with acne. And they decided in 2008 to create their own brand to help others, not just with acne, but with anti-aging, with sun damage, with skin sensitivity and redness, and as well as still acne for both teens and adults. So they've come a long way, and we have branched into hair care now. And I found this brand because I was that person searching for skincare. I was 46 years old and had no skincare routine. And as a stay-at-home mom, sometimes we put ourselves last. And I said, you know what? It's time for me to invest in my skin. And I found this brand because I was ready to do so and started with our anti-aging line. And at the same time, I said, you know what? I would love a business opportunity that I could work from anywhere around my kids. And I decided to become a consultant the same day. So here I am. I love helping people build confidence with their skin and their hair. But I not only use these products, my son uses our teen acne line, my husband uses our skin sensitivity line. So it's really been a great family business. So when, we talk about now, May actually is Skin Cancer Awareness Month. So I think this is an appropriate interview, Gretchen, that we're talking about sun and the beach and how to protect ourselves. So of course, first and foremost, sunscreen is important. You want to start with a hat. And if you could see my video, I have my bright orange hat ready right here. Because you definitely want to protect your scalp, your hair. There you go, right? It's not about skin too. You got scalp you have to protect. So we don't, talk about that a lot, especially with men. And everyone knows that my favorite color is orange. So that's why I have my orange hat. And also my kids can find me on the beach. So it's a big bright orange. So you want to start with wearing a hat. But when it comes to your skin, think about the products you're using. Does your moisturizer contain an SPF? Do you have one, Gretchen? Do you do that when in your skincare routine, having an SPF step?
The hat, the sunglasses, and the SPF have always been my main go-tos.
Mm-hmm.
It's beyond that I kind of fall short.
Mm-hmm.
And I became acquainted with you and Rodan and Fields line, a few months ago, and kind of got my baseline products. And then as summer's approaching, kind of felt like, okay, what do I need to do to make sure that I'm prepared for summer and that, my skin in particular, I've got pretty healthy hair, but what am I doing to make sure my skin doesn't dry out and that I'm not prematurely aging my skin that much more because I'm in the sun a whole lot.
Right. Yeah.
So yeah, I use sunscreen. I use sunscreen because I'm in the sun a whole lot during the summer. I work outside. I'm in the sun a whole lot. So yeah, I do use sunscreen. Now I don't know. You would know better because I get my products from you if they have SPF in them.
Yeah, so you're actually using our anti-aging line. So the Redefine line has their SPF step. So all of our regimens contain an SPF step, which is what I love about Rodan and Fields, because think about it, they're dermatologists. They're seeing a lot of skin cancer in their office. So they've developed regimens that helps everybody protect their skin with an SPF step. Some regimens, like our anti-aging line, will have it in our AM cream, which is like this. We have a cream and a lotion. So this has SPF 30. So if you are cleansing your face, using a toner because you want to clean all of that, dead skin cells, sweat, and dirt off your skin, then you follow up with a hydrating moisturizer with SPF. That's great. Some regimens, it's an actual separate step. So my husband uses our Soothe line, and his step 4 is a sunscreen, mineral sunscreen step. So it depends. So that's why I tell people, look at what your products are. So you're protecting your skin every time you use your AM moisturizer. That's great. I go a step further too, and I add something called our Radiant Defense Perfecting Liquid, which is a tinted moisturizer, and that also has SPF 30 on it. And it's very lightweight. It doesn't cause acne breakouts or clog your pores. So it's really good for your skin because it's skincare. It's not makeup. So those are some areas. So yes, you're doing that with your routine every morning. And then we also have a face and body sunscreen. So this was an award winner. This goes on very lightweight. My whole family uses this in the summer. It's SPF 50. Okay, so you can put it on your face and you can put it on your body. It absorbs quickly, doesn't leave any white residue, and it acts like a moisturizer. It's very hydrating to your skin. And it's important too that, this is 80 minutes resistant to water. So you want to reapply every 2 hours. If you're swimming a lot, you're on the beach and you go in, people forget to reapply. I think that's one of the most important things. And for those people out there that are like, my skin needs vitamin D, you only need 10 minutes a day without any sunscreen on. After that, put your sunscreen on. You're going to protect yourself. So, and this one smells great too. So, find yourself a good face and body sunscreen. And then with your scalp, for men, there's men maybe your hair thinning or even women. That's where the hat comes in. But you want to also treat your scalp, and celebrity hairstylist Bridget Brager has worked with Rodan and Fields to create our hair care regimens. And she just offers, there's a great article on my website on our blog. It says summer hair tips. And I know you had seen the video that I was trying to share too.
Love it.
Yeah, right?
I love that. Yes.
Oh, thank you very much. I appreciate you watching my videos. And she talks about scalp health. So we have a densifying hair treatment. If you can see this video, this is part of our Volume Plus line. So we have a hair regimen for thinning hair that creates volume, and one called Smooth for defrizzing your hair. That's what I use. And it's not just for curly hair. It's for anybody, even if you have straight hair and wants to defrizz your hair, have smoother hair, healthier hair, something very hydrating. But our densifying root treatment, she says you can use after a long day on the beach or by the pool. Your scalp's going to get dry. You can use this on wet hair or dry scalp, a night treatment. So this is great to have. And then also, I love this tip for hair. You can leave, like if you're swimming in the pool, you know how harsh the pool chemicals can be, or the salt water can be to your hair. She said to add conditioner in the strands of your hair. Really,
I love that.
Right?
I love that.
So in your beach bag, what should you have? Have a little travel size of your conditioner, put it in there, especially if you have blonde hair. Sometimes that pool water turns it green. It will help to protect from your hair from absorbing too many harsh chemicals or salt from the salt water. So I thought that was a great tip too. And I do that in the beach. I'll usually wet my hair, put that in there, put it in a little bun, and then stick my hat on, and I'm good to go. And then we also have a defrizz oil, which I think is amazing because all of our hair care products are great for, they're color safe and they're heat protectants. So whether it be a blow dryer, and in the summer, we don't want to always blow dry our hair because it's hot, use those styling tips. So you can use our styling cream to create those beachy waves. Another great tip that I loved was adding our dry shampoo to your beach bag. Because let's say you're on the beach, even some maybe young adults out there may go from beach to their jobs at the shore if they're living at the shore in the summer, right? And hopefully they have time to shower in between, but you can refresh your hair if you don't have time to do the whole hair thing. You can use a dry shampoo, put it in your scalp, and it'll reduce odor, reduce oil and sweat, and it'll create some beachy waves too. I thought that was a great tip to do. And then our defrizz oil adds condition, shine, and you can put it on your scalp also for dry scalp. So there's a lot of different ways you can. Oh, but the other thing is, don't forget your lips. Do you protect your lips in the summer? What do you use?
Well, I'm constantly putting lip balm on my lips. Should I be doing something different?
Well, make sure your lip balm has SPF in it. So I know Rodan and Fields created one that is, this is a 2-pack and it has SPF protection as well. Smells like grapefruit. So it's very light and fresh for the summer.
Nice.
Yes. So you want to make sure you're doing your lips too, because there's nothing worse than having a blister on your lip or, just from the sun. So we can't just think about our skin. And then remember your hands. I mean, even when you're just driving, people are like, oh, I don't need sunscreen. I'm not going to sit on the beach. Listen, you walk out the door, you need sunscreen because you
Hmm.
have to protect you. It's all around you.
Hmm.
So,
I think my favorite is putting the conditioner in the hair before you go in the salt water or out in the sun. I think that's an excellent tip, and I hadn't even thought about that.
yeah, because your hair gets really dry. We don't want dry hair.
Well, and I know if I go in the ocean and after I come out, even if I sometimes wash my hair still feels like I haven't gotten all the salt water out.
Yes.
So I'm excited to try that.
Oh, good. And you'll have to let
Excited to
me
try.
know how that works for you this summer.
Yeah, I definitely plan to. I definitely plan to. Now, in terms of now, I'll sweat a lot in the summer.
Hmm.
And should I be like exfoliating more? Should I be using like a toner, to keep my pores less clogged?
Yeah.
What
So
kind of?
using the what's great is these doctors created this tool called a solution tool on my website, and what it is a quick skin and hair assessment. And when you answer these basic questions, they make recommendations on what's best for your skin, because skincare should not be one size fits all. So in the anti-aging line, for example, there is a cleanser. You could choose either foaming or exfoliating, like a clay cleanser, and then a
Mhm.
toner. So toners do help to further exfoliate your skin. It's really important to exfoliate at least 3 times a week. But if you have a cleanser using daily, you're going to be getting that. And then toners will help minimize your pores, because clean pores are smaller looking pores. So it is good to add a toner and then follow up with your moisturizer. But we do have a microdermabrasion paste that I like to use a lot more in the summer. I do, or in the winter, because it's a sugar and salt scrub, but you can
Mhm.
use it in place of whatever cleanser you use daily, 1 to 3 times a week, for that further exfoliation on your face and your body. I usually leave it, we have an outdoor shower at the shore, which I absolutely love. So I'll leave it in there for everybody to use, but it smells like citrus and it has vitamin C in it. So it's good for brightening your skin, because, we get those dark spots from being in the sun all summer.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
I recommend that. It's a big tub. It lasts forever, but it just makes your skin instantly feel smoother, and will help with fine lines and wrinkles also. So we're always looking to make our skin look younger and feel younger, and exfoliating is a great way to do that.
And exfoliate's not going to dry me out.
No, you don't want to use, well, it depends on your exfoliator too. So that type of exfoliator, you don't want to do every day. So 1 to 3
Okay.
times a week's plenty. But if you have a gentle exfoliator in your cleanser, that would be fine. It won't dry out. But that's why, even with our redefined regimen, we customized it for either combo oily skin or dry skin. So if you have drier skin, you want to use the foaming cleanser so it doesn't dry you out. But if you have more oily skin, you'd want to use the clay cleanser, because you want to absorb some of that oil. So that's why it's so important to really know what type of skin you have and use the right products for your skin.
What are the biggest mistakes people make in the summer?
Um, in the summer, well, as far as their skin and their hair,
Skincare.
skincare.
Yeah.
Well, I would say maybe not having any routine at all. And just, I think I have a bad habit of looking at people's skin every time I meet them and wanting to
I'm
make
sure.
recommendations. It's hard.
And quietly judging them.
Quietly saying, you have something for that. I can help you with that. Especially dry skin. Like when I see sunburn or dry skin, that just to me means, you may not have a routine. And that honestly was me, because I didn't know better. I didn't know what I should be doing. I wasn't educated. And I think that's why I love being a consultant, because if anything, I've educated myself and others on
Hmm.
how to better take care of your skin, and what products are going to do that. And, whether is a serum going to help me to add on for extra if I have dryness, or, maybe a mask using twice a week that would help for a secondary skin concern. So I just think it's a matter of people not really knowing. And sometimes it takes us to look in the mirror and say, you know what? I'm not really happy with how my skin is. Maybe I should start taking care of it now, like we do our bodies. I mean, think about it. Your skin is the largest organ on your body. We need to take care
Of
of it
course.
like we do our heart.
Hmm.
So I think it's just changed my whole mindset on self care. So I would tell people, if you don't have any routine, maybe start to find one that works for you and stick with it. You want to be consistent. That's the other thing, too.
Hmm. Now, what was your skin like before you started this journey?
Well, I had so it's funny you say that. I can show you my before and after photo if you haven't seen it yet, and I know it's on my skincare page. So in my 40s, it was starting to look rough and dull, and I felt like I had a lot of wrinkles, and I would put on more and more foundation to cover everything up. But all that did was make everything look worse. The bags under my eyes were insane. I know I was getting tired of people saying, "Are you okay? You look tired." And I'm like, "Well, I just woke up."
Hmm.
So I'm like, I better, there's a wake up call for me. I'm like, I think I better take care of my skin because, I wasn't that old and I wish I had started sooner. I come up from the
Hmm.
days where my mother used to lay out with baby oil under foil to get tan, right? And nobody
Right.
talked about sunscreen. And I played tennis. I was always in outdoor sports, and we weren't encouraged to always use sunscreen. So, I have had some dark spots I wanted to lighten up. And
Hmm.
and again, it was just a matter of me not knowing. I had a drawer full of what we call the graveyard of drugstore brand products that I kept buying, and nothing was working, and I didn't know how to use what. So it was mainly, and I like our regimens because everything is numbered. So I call it skincare for
Hmm.
dummies, which is what I was. Step
Yeah.
one, step two,
Yeah.
step three. Oh, that's easy. I can follow that. And then once you get in a routine, you look forward to doing it. So I think for me, it got to the point where, like, okay, kids, leave me alone. I'm taking my 2 minutes in the morning at night to take care of my skin. And boy, did my confidence come back. Like, it really is a confidence
Hmm.
booster, especially when with teens with acne. Working with them is the best, and my son is one. He's so confident now about his skin, he shares it with his friends, and that's what it's all about for me. Right.
Sure.
So, and it makes him smile, and he'll even come up to me and say, "Look, Mom, doesn't my skin look great?" I'm like, "Good for you, Michael." So it comes with the consistency of teaching them young to take care of your skin, and that builds confidence in just everyday life.
Hmm. It really does. If you look, if you look good, it kind of makes a difference in every little thing you do that
It
day.
really does. And you know what? What I tell people too, think about how long does it really take for somebody to make a first impression, right? Seconds. So when you feel good about yourself and you have a smile on your face and someone looks at you and you're groomed well, and I'm not talking about vanity or beauty, we're talking about
Hmm.
confidence, and I
Hmm.
think that, and every day everyone's like, "Are you always this happy?" I'm like, "I am. I don't know. I look at life in a positive way, and I try to give that to other people. And I think a lot of it comes with how you feel about yourself. So I enjoy being a consultant and giving that back to people when they reach out to me and say, "Kim, thank you so much. I'm really loving how my skin looks and feels, and or now I have this issue. Can you help me tweak it?" Like, I love being that one-on-one person that people want to reach out to make them feel good about themselves. I mean, that's really why I do what I do. It's a lot of fun and very rewarding.
Well, you absolutely do.
Aw.
You are 100% passionate about what you do. You're great at networking. I met you through the Mighty More podcast.
Yes.
Uh, Melissa Rosenblum does a podcast through my brother. I edited her podcast and heard your podcast, and we're so positive and impassioned about these products, and very upbeat, very impassioned, very empowered about what you do. And you do a little bit of a lot of things. You really do. One of those things is
That's
cooking.
right.
I, I had no idea, but you are an aspiring gourmet. Let's talk about
Oh,
that.
I am. And I hate to bring up COVID, but I have to say one of the positive things that happened to me was that because I started doing cooking videos. Now, My love for cooking began because as a stay-at-home mom, I should tell everybody I was a successful businesswoman prior to having my children. I was an IT recruiter for 8 years, and then I had gone into pharmaceutical sales. I did that for 4, and my husband and I were married for 7 years before we had children. So we were married now 23 years, very happily married. My oldest is 15, my youngest is 12. And I always tell them, Mom was very successful before I had you, and I am. They're seeing it now again, though. But I decided to take a break from my career and stay home with my kids because my husband traveled a lot. It made sense for our family, and I'm so glad. And I still, to this day, am loving being that person to be everything for them everywhere with school and all that. I volunteer everywhere. That's important to me. But as a stay-at-home mom, I used to watch the Food Network all the time, right? With the little ones, like, what else can I make? I'm always trying to create creative foods for them to eat with hiding vegetables and all this stuff. And I've learned, I have to say, I'm a really good chopper. I have some mad knife skills from watching the Food Network. So chopping is one of my favorite things to do. If anyone wants a lesson, hit me up. So for years I was doing that and loved to cook. I'd go to cooking classes for fun, and I know how to make my own pasta. And so when COVID hit, being isolated like that is not good for someone like me, because I need to be around people all the time, talking to people. It just makes me happy. So I think I was getting a little bit depressed, being like, oh my goodness, I can't go anywhere. So my kids are upstairs in their rooms on a school Zoom, and I'll never forget, I'm about to make hummus. So people tell me I have the best hummus. I think my hummus is really good. It's a family recipe. And I said, you know what? I'm going to go live while I make hummus. And I had all the camera stuff because of Rodan and Fields. I always do videos. I'm like, I'm going to put my camera on my kitchen table. I got all my ingredients and I hit the live button, first time ever. And I just start talking to people and say, I'm about to make hummus. Here's a little bit of background about me, and here's how you're going to make it. Well, the response was so positive. I think people were just craving that connection too. So I started doing cooking videos. Whenever I'm like, I want to share my favorite recipe, I set up my camera and I did a video. So then as they're going on, I have a lot of them on there. My son and said, Mom, why don't you create a YouTube channel with all your videos? Then I'm like, oh, I don't know. Okay. Now, my YouTube videos, though, are really just all of my Facebook Live videos. So they're not your typical, cooking video that's masterfully edited, because they're not. But it's just a mom making. Right.
That's okay.
Like, they're just a mom making recipes. And most of them are other people's recipes that they shared with me that are my favorite. Some are my own. Some are my dad. There's one on my dad made. His seafood salad is the best. Calamari and shrimp. And there's one of me cooking in LBI. So yes, I have a house in LBI, and we make this clam bake. That's great. It was my neighbor's recipe he taught me, but anything, like, I like being in front of the camera and sharing things with people. So, I created this whole cooking thing. And then people started reaching out saying, you need your own cooking show. Somebody wrote into the Rachel Ray show. They did call me for a different segment. It wasn't about cooking, unfortunately. And now her show is no longer. So I don't have an opportunity to go back. But who knows?
Well, I love hummus. I'm going to need to watch that video and check that out, because I absolutely love hummus and I love clam bakes.
Yeah.
So that is one of my signature dishes. So I'm going to have to check that out. Yeah. What is your favorite thing to cook?
Well, so lately these days it's been Syrian food. My son, now that they're older, their taste buds are much better than they used to be. And I grew up making Syrian food. So my mom's side is 100% Syrian, which is where the hummus comes in. My father's side's 100% Italian. So I have to say, though, I do both. I do make homemade pasta and meatballs and all that stuff. There's a meatball recipe on there. It's not mine. It was from a cooking school I went to, though, but it's my favorite. And there's some pasta making videos there. I love to make pizza, homemade pizza. But lately I've been making grape leaves a lot. I don't know if you're familiar with that. I just made them yesterday.
Yes.
For my son, as a reward for a track meet he qualified for. I'm like, what do you want to eat? He said grape leaves. I'm like, okay.
Wow. And this is a 15-year-old.
Yes.
That's kind of a sophisticated Palate.
It is, yeah. They're very expensive children. They like, yeah, they like lobster, surf and turf, sushi, like anything that's real. The most expensive price on the menu, that's what they want to order, and that's
That's
why I
great.
work to feed them.
That's
Yeah.
great.
So, but you and I should cook sometime. That would be a lot of fun. How do you make your clam bake? Oh,
Clams,
mm-hmm.
shrimp, mussels, lobster, new skin potatoes, sweet and hot Italian sausage, pork
Ooh.
roll, uh, and Jersey
Wow,
Cat.
that sounds amazing. Yum. And
A little
all
bit of
local
everything.
ingredients for living by the beach, right?
That's right. All in one.
So
All
you
in
live
one.
2 blocks from the beach? Is that where you are right now?
I live a half block
Oh
from
wow.
the beach. Yep, in Ocean
Oh,
City. In Ocean
I
City.
want to come to Ocean City. Is that the one where they have the boardwalk? Oh,
Yes, the boardwalk, America's favorite family playground, or America's favorite family resort is what
oh,
it's called. And it strikes me how little in New Jersey we know about other beach towns unless it's right next door to each other. You're in LBI,
yes.
right? Like, I don't know any pizza places in LBI, but I can name every single one in Ocean City, probably in
Yep.
Sea Isle, probably in
Yep.
Wildwood. What are the good places to eat
Oh,
in
and that's one of
LBI?
my favorite things to do is eat in Long Beach Island. So we have a lot of favorite restaurants. I have to give a shout out to the Tide Table Group because they have really a wonderful group of restaurants that consists of, hopefully I'll get them all right, um, Parker's Garage, which is very close to us. That's in Beach Haven, right on the bay. We can ride our bikes there, which is why it's become a family favorite because it's so close. We love riding our bikes in LBI. I think it's one of our favorite things to do in the summer is just having the ability to ride a bike wherever. Amazing food,
Yeah.
amazing people. My son's actually working there this summer. Woohoo! Uh,
Oh,
I'm very excited
nice.
about that. Bird and Betty's is right next door to them. I do live karaoke there in the summer, which is a blast. So all you karaoke friends,
You kind
I
of do it
know,
all.
yeah, I'm a big fan. The only issue is it's a late night thing, and I'm old. I'm going to be 52 this year, and I'm feeling it sometimes, but I still like to have fun. Oh, and I had my 50th at Parker's Garage. They did the most amazing job for my 50th birthday. The people are phenomenal. Service is great. Food's great. So if you haven't been there, check them out. And you can actually bring your boat right there too, which is great. A lot of boaters come, they'll pull their boat and they can have them.
Nice.
And then there is Mud City Crab House, which is off the island. Oh, they also have Black Whale. We go there a lot. They have the best shrimp bisque. Oh my goodness. If you like shrimp bisque, the Black Whale, that's what my
Hmm.
kids order too. They all get shrimp bisque. It's funny, right? Who would think they want shrimp bisque? I know,
Right.
right? But yet my son, they don't eat peanut butter and jelly, but they'd rather have
Wow.
shrimp bisque. It's bizarre, but I guess I'd rather that. At least they're eating, being at.
That's healthy,
Sure
good
is,
stuff.
yeah. And then the Old Causeway is another restaurant. So I love eating down there. So I think that was why I'm kind of happy he's in the restaurant industry now as a busboy.
Exactly. Exactly.
But yeah, and we'll eat lobster rolls. We love seafood. So having a beach house, and my husband and I were very fortunate that we purchased this home before we had kids as an income property. 22 years ago now, 23 years ago. And it's a duplex and
Hmm.
we have a first and second floor. And can I tell you, the renters that were coming there even before we owned it for years, some people are 25 years, they treat it like their own. And it's such a special place. We had always said we love the beach and we were able to find this house. We were so grateful as a young couple, but we figured, you know what? It's income property. We'll sell it someday for retirement. Well,
Hmm.
now that we had
Hmm.
kids, as they were growing up there, we're like, wow, wouldn't this be great for us to be able to someday spend summers down in the summer at
Hmm.
our shore house? But that would mean our renters couldn't come anymore, which was always really a hard decision. But then again,
Sure.
COVID hit, right? And what were people doing that owned beach houses? They started to stay down at their own beach house, right? I can work from anywhere. I'm going to go to the beach and stay down there. And then they said, you know what? Maybe I want to stay here all summer now. I'm not going to rent my house out anymore. And those poor people then were saying, I'm sorry, my house is no longer open. And the inventory started to get smaller and smaller for renters. So we decided, not the first year of COVID, the year after that, you know what? I think we want to do the same. And now, because now our kids are at the age where they didn't want to go back home in the summer. They're like, why do we have to leave? Can we stay here all summer? And I'm like, you know what? They're actually old enough to work. So the first summer they were old enough to work was last summer. We said, you know what? It was 2 years ago. So I turned 50. And that's when the first year was we stayed there all summer. And plus I'm like, oh, I can actually celebrate my birthday at the shore this year. I was never able to do them because life changing.
Right.
But they both had jobs that summer. And you know what? Now it's like, wow, I pinched myself that we were able to do this. And you know what? I'm happy I have my Rodan and Fields business because I could do it from the beach. I can meet anybody and help them. It's different than if I were to go back to corporate America as an IT recruiter or pharmaceutical sales rep. I have to be at a desk or I have to be on someone else's schedule. Like this gives me the freedom to be with my kids wherever, which is great.
Absolutely.
And it's the type of business that, can grow. Whatever you put into it is what you get out of it, which I love. But I could do it from anywhere. And so now for me too, I'm like, nothing stands still as far as my business is concerned. I could spend the summers at my beach, which was always my dream. And the kids are just growing up there is just wonderful. They're learning, hard work pays off and getting a good work ethic, and it's building confidence in them at a young age. I think it's so important. And these beach towns look for young people. It's so great. They offer opportunities to young people because they built their businesses as a young kids. A lot of them are family businesses, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
yes. Yeah. It's a great place for young kids to find a job.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, I sure appreciate you being on my podcast. I don't know if you can hear in the background, but I'm sure you have this in LBI. Can you hear them doing yard work? Can you hear them doing yard work?
Are they mowing?
They're yes. Yeah. Can you hear that? I turned my volume down just ever so slightly because it's summer in the beach town when you hear them mowing the yards.
Right.
Just
I
around
have
the
to give
corner.
another shout out real quick to the Boardwalk. There's another business we absolutely love, the Boardwalk in Beach Haven. They are an ice cream and bike rental place that we grew up in because they're 2 blocks from our house. And my younger son works there as the bike boy. But they have the best ice cream on the island. Say hi to Beverly. Hi, Beverly. But great people, great business. So, another shout out to her. If you're on LBI and you need a bike and you're in the Beach Haven area, check out the Boardwalk.
Absolutely. Well, I think one of these times, what we'll do is we're going to have to do a little cook-off between us, and do a little comparison. Thank you so much for being on the podcast today. And where can people find you?
The easiest, I do have a website. That's just my name, so it's www.kimcera.com. And Instagram, same thing. It's Kim_CERA. And I'm also on LinkedIn. So either of those places, or you can find me.
Okay. And will you be back on the podcast to talk
I would love to
again
anytime.
soon?
You let me know. I'll be there. Thanks,
Thank you,
Gretchen.
Kim. Have a great
All
summer.
right, you
We'll
too.
talk soon.
Thank you. Bye.
All right. Bye.